Welcome back to Razmafzar TV. We are having Bede back on our channel. Hi, Bede. Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
Bede, today we are going to talk about a very important museum. And this museum, surprise, surprise, first of all, thanks to uh, Usman for sending us these pictures. And this is Islamic Arts Museum in Malaysia. That's what we are going to discuss about them. And they have lots of arms and armor, Bede.
Oh yeah, Malaysia is a very interesting place. Um, I was surprised when I was in Korea once and met some Malaysian archers that they have a quite a vigorous horse archery. Um, this is in the classic Middle Eastern style horse archery uh, clubs there. They do uh, lots of traditional archery, and they're well read and very practical. And there's bow makers in both making Middle Eastern style bows in both Malaysia and Indonesia. Uh, so it's really quite a vigorous area for Islamic arms and armor in the sense that modern people are interested in it too. I mean, not just their history, but a kind of active interest and let's make things, exactly what you want to see. It's wonderful.
Yeah, let's go through them and see them. We are going to start from this. So I just put some of them on the left side. You can see a smaller one here. Some of them are larger. And let's
Mhm.
start with this Qatar,
Yeah,
Jamatar Qatari, with its scabbard. Really
yeah,
long
that's
blade. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. We often um, talk about Tatars as punch daggers because you're holding them crosswise to the blade, but in fact, they're extremely good parrying daggers.
Yes,
And the longer blades, not only can you stab with, but you can deliver very strong cuts because it's coming
yes,
from your shoulder and your elbow. The wrist is not, it's not a flick cut, it's a solid cut.
solid.
Um, they're quite an interesting weapon in design, and they're just so uniquely Indian from the Indian subcontinent, I should say.
Yes,
India and Pakistan today, and Bangladesh.
yes.
All three uh, share this history.
Yes, absolutely. And what is interesting for me, Bede, as we know, most or the majority of Qatars have two bars, these
Mhm.
ones for in the handle.
Yeah,
Some of
yeah,
them have one, few of them have one, like this one. You see that?
yeah, yeah. It's kind of fused.
Yes.
I'd have to see it in a larger,
Yes, it's
uh,
like fused, but as you can
yeah,
see,
like
they are
two fused
pierced.
together.
They are pierced here. And so
Yeah,
as like one exists as well compared to these ones which are so these are also
yeah.
very
Well, see,
interesting.
yeah, you've got the type that has very straight sidebars,
Yes,
and the one with the fused one. Notice how it's got very elegantly curved
yes,
sidebars rather than just straight ones.
yes,
So, I mean, these are regional and um, possibly in certain areas they developed a slightly different way of fighting because the curved ones, you notice the one that's got the fused sidebars, there's actually like a little projection on either
yes.
side, which may have been to catch a blade sliding down the outside of the grip there.
This
Uh,
one,
yeah, yeah. Because
yes,
the fighting styles in the whole of what the Persians used to call Hindustan,
mm,
um, they're very sophisticated.
yes, yes,
It's not just chop 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 or stab stab stab. There's lots of physical movement, lots of avoiding the somebody else's blade purely by basically gymnastics, not just blocking, but just completely getting out of the way and attacking when they're off balance or whatever. So it's really sophisticated.
very, absolutely. B, take a look at this one. Look at the head of this animal.
Oh yeah.
What is this?
I think it's a lion, isn't it?
I think so. It looks like a lion, huh?
Yeah. Holding something in its mouth, which is also the knuckle guard.
Yeah.
This is the what in Indian collecting and Hindustani collecting is usually called a kanja. When
Yes.
it's got a knuckle bow, and it's a developed knuckle bow, this is very elegant and possibly not entirely developed for that. So I'm looking, it seems to have a flared out guard as well,
Yeah.
which might tie it back to South Indian styles
Yeah.
of knife, like
Yes.
Panjali.
It does
But
here.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
See, the problem with these types of knives is you can swap hilts and blades quite easily,
Yeah.
just like you can with a Japanese sword or a kulba, where you
Yeah.
the often the blade is attached to the hilt by a resin, which is really strong, but with careful heating, you can totally remove pieces one from another.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they're riveted together, sometimes they have a tang that is glued. I mean, when you get a rock crystal hilt or a jade hilt, um, it's a bit more delicate how you do it, though. Jade and rock crystal wouldn't be too worried by heat, uh,
Yes.
but ivory would. So
Yeah, of course.
there's several different ways of attaching them. But
Yes.
that's got a typical, say, Mogul Kanja blade form. But
Yes.
that blade form is related to further southern Indian blade forms as well.
Yeah. And
Double
then,
edged, double curved.
yes, absolutely. And we have also these beautiful, look at these ones, daggers, also very
Oh
nice.
yeah, yeah,
Very nice one.
yeah. They're like they're Kanja like, but they're almost Peshkabs like
Yes,
in the
almost.
sense. Yeah, almost not the same because I think they're still. Oh, wait a minute. The one with the water steel gold inlaid handle and the lion's head, that appears to have an actual Pishkab's blade.
Yeah.
Look at the gold work on the ricasso of the blade indicates that the blade is single edged.
This one, you mean?
No, no,
Sorry.
no. The one on the in the right hand side.
Oh, you mean these ones which is like pishkar?
Yeah,
This one,
yeah,
and this
yeah,
one. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, there's no. It's not like this type of blade and this type of blade and this type of blade. I mean, there are big groups like Qatar and Kanja, but that it's like a Kanja hilt on a Pishkab's blade,
Yeah.
which would work because Kanja hilts, that type of Kanja hilt is particularly ergonomic. It feels really good in the hand.
Yes, it does. Absolutely. So we can also take a look at now different ones
Oh,
here.
yeah.
This Ottoman saber, very beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
Really beautiful. Mm. Also, we
Yeah,
have
these
tulwar
are
hills, unmounted ones. You see that?
yeah, yeah. As I say, you can mix and match with those. It's again the whole Indian subcontinent. The idea of swapping blades with different uh, hilt furniture was quite common. In Iran, for instance, the blade and Turkey, the blade and the hilt are more intimately connected with riveting and overlays and underlays and all that kind of stuff. But in the Indian subcontinent, uh, the concept was the blade had a small tang, and you fill the hilt is hollow. You fill it up with a kind of natural resin.
Yeah.
You heat it up. You put the sword blade in, and you adjust the angle for the style of fighting you use. So it's not like there's only one way to put the handle on. You can have the handle a little bit more forward, a little bit further back, depending on how you fight. So it's very flexible.
Yeah.
Not the grip. I mean, the thing is really solid, but what I mean is the way you can mount it is very flexible. You can change the angles and whatever.
I think one
Um,
of our members was telling me he was talking to an Indian smith who makes beautiful welded steel. So, I mean, and then he said, he said, okay, quite expensive, some of the blades he makes, And then he told one of our members, he said, "Yeah, well, if you want to go cheaper, there are tons of munition grade antique blades in India. No one wants to have them."
Oh yeah, I've got one. Got one now.
And I was laughing and I said, "What does he mean with munition grade?" Because when you go to Iran, blades are top notch. He said, "No, it's not like in Iran." This Indian Smith told him, "You're gonna find 100,000 munition grades, mounted and unmounted, still antiques in India at very affordable prices." I was really surprised to hear that. I didn't know that.
I can't pull it out right now, but I've got a blade. It came with a damaged toolbar style hilt,
Ah,
and
okay.
it was fullered and it had a yeoman and everything like that. And the whole thing cost me $15.
Is it the crucible steel?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
It's it's I think the sword had gone through some high temperature problems,
Mm,
like it had been in something that had burnt down, and then they cleaned the surface off, and it had lost its temper, so it'd have to be retempered. I've always thought of remounting it because it looks like a the blade shape, except for the Indian style ricasso, is very similar to 15th, 16th century sword blades, and I always thought it'd look really nice if it had an old style hilt on it.
yeah,
I haven't got round to it. There are too many things to do. But the one I showed you with the horse head shamshear like hilt, it's a munitions blade. It's just a flat wedge in a curved form, but it doesn't have any decoration. Like it's not woods, but with a bit of cleaning and polishing and sharpening, it would be fully functional as
yeah,
a sword, like
yeah,
for a soldier in the old days.
yeah,
So they made a lot of lower grade stuff, or maybe a lot of it survived.
yeah,
Uh, the thing is, with all of the little princely states, there were armories everywhere, whereas Iran was a centralized
yes,
kingdom.
yes,
And
exactly.
therefore, when things went out of use, if they weren't beautiful, they probably got melted down and turned into
Yeah,
something else.
yes, exactly.
I
India
mean,
had different kingdoms. It was not centralized as
yeah,
Iran
yeah.
was.
And I
Exactly.
mean, up until the 19th century, they had their independent armies, even if they, didn't fight anybody. But
Yes,
there's this strong tradition of military preparedness and
yes,
really good arms making.
yes, absolutely.
It's just quite amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Please, Pete, look at these southern types you meant, right? Look at this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That
Love
they
them.
I got to play with quite a few of those over many years. They are so beautifully made,
Yeah,
like the fullering and everything. Like if you do cross sections of the blades, you can see like oh, very complex cross sections.
yeah.
Um, these are according to the one on the right, my right, number 10
This
is
one, right?
very much yeah
Mm,
is very much what European collectors call a kanjali. It's a
exactly.
fighting knife that's held laid down,
Yeah,
but because of its shape, just by moving your wrist, the tip of the blade can be facing directly forward,
yeah,
but you can use it for parrying.
yeah, yeah.
They're usually double edged. The blades are usually really strong. The multi-part bone, horn, or even ivory grips, that's typical. So that the pommel plate, like the T section plate or T shape plate, is usually a separate plate, and then the grip scales are separate plates, and they're all riveted onto the tang of the knife. The one that has the integral steel hilt,
Let me show it, Pete.
uh,
This one.
yeah,
Hmm.
there's quite a wide variety of these. They are all really strong.
Yeah,
Like these are not slender blades. These are for punching through anything.
yeah.
The knob on the top, because you're holding the blade down, the knob on the top is really quite good for hitting people in the head. Um, I don't know. there's probably a fencing style. I mean, I've seen South Indian fencing styles demonstrated years ago, and their ability to move different parts of the blade into approximate, like I'm going to move that point there, really fast and really fluidly. I see in the black and white on the right, you
Yep.
can see the level of decoration on the Kanjali and bits of the. I mean, the other one's gilded, but this one seems to be inlaid with metal wire,
Yeah.
which is, you know,
Beautiful. Yes, and now I realize that exactly because it's larger. Yeah,
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 yeah. Well, you can see that also looking at the back at the tillage blade. Look at how much decoration's on that,
yeah,
and that seems to be either engraved or etched into the blade, which is kind
yeah.
of a lot of work's been put into that.
Magnificent works. And here you can see that. I mean, okay. Also,
That's
again,
quite a
yeah,
Yeah, that's quite an early form of crossguard too.
yeah,
Sometimes you don't know whether the pieces of a sword are all from the same period or whether they've been
yeah,
over their lifespan. Because a sword can be in use for a couple of 100 years,
yes,
and they may replace this and replace that, and you end up with a hybrid that is totally authentic
yes.
because it was put together or repaired or replaced in its working lifetime, as opposed to something where somebody has an antique shop and they've got dozens of blades and bits and they put them together to make the prettiest thing they can think of.
This is a bit what I, as you noted in Japanese, arms and armor or sword circles is completely common practice, and everyone knows that the koshiare
Yeah.
could be of a different period. So they always concentrate on the blade, and koshiare is secondary. But in other areas of collection, people really got upset. Oh, this blade was changed, the handle was changed. I mean, in Japanese, it's just part and parcel
Oh
of the
yeah, well,
game.
Japanese and Indian and I think Turkish and Persian, Middle Eastern in general, um, uh, you would update the furniture of the sword
Yeah.
to the style and use at the time. So it might change the shape of the hilt. I mean, I've seen swords with 16th century blades and 18th century hilts.
Yes.
And it's not somebody. See, I think the thing in European arms and armor, and the reason they're very sensitive about mismatching things is because that wasn't a tradition so much. You
Yeah.
would rebuild the hilt or something like that. And the way it was being done was people were buying things and just putting them together to make them look like something else. Whereas
Yeah.
in Japan, everybody knew that you could take the handle off and put a different tsuba on and
Yeah.
all that kind of thing was just an accepted tradition. But in the West, it wasn't. And when people, well, it wasn't like, I mean, in Japan or India, the people doing this were doing it for the people who used the swords. Whereas in Europe, they were doing it for collectors.
Yeah.
And I mean, to make money out of an old sword. And I think and I think that Europeans became sensitive to that because they knew it was being done. It wasn't something anybody wanted, except for the people selling, because they made more money if it looked like it was old. Happens a lot with European plate armor.
Yeah.
There are so many plate armors that are not what they look like.
Yeah.
Like the legs might be from a different armor and all that kind of stuff. Now, in practice, you could do that like in the life of the armor, but generally speaking, not because plate armor is custom made for the person who's wearing it. Usually, I mean, there are munition armors that
Yes.
you'd go along to your colonel and he'd give you one that fitted you more or less. But if you had a bespoke armor, it was made for you. It's like going to Savile Row and buying a suit in England.
Yes. So here we have a better picture of what we had in the beginning. And look at
Mm,
this one, this Qatar. It has a jade
yeah, see,
handle
this
set
is
with rubies.
yeah, and notice how the um, sidebars are longer than the blade.
Yeah,
So this is all part of the design. Those sidebars are also part of the defense for the arm.
yeah,
But the decoration looks beautiful.
yeah. Magnificent. Really magnificent. And also we have like this card shaped, right? Look at this one.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
that's a classic. See, the card is such a practical knife, whether it's for fighting or cutting up your food or making a hole in your belt so you can tighten it up or let it out. In my case, it's a very practical, useful knife. I'm surprised that it. I mean, it's completely. I mean, taking into account a Bicek style knife in Turkey, all the way across Iran into India, cards are very common knife types.
Yeah.
And smaller cards are basically for cutting up your food. Bigger cards maybe to impress people with their workmanship and that. They also could be used for fighting.
Yes, yes, absolutely. There have been reinforced tips, and also there are written that the cards were used in Persian texts. Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Afghan Khyber knife is just a giant card.
Yeah, yeah, all right. Is it just a giant card? Yeah, it is. It is. Yes. Look at this one. You like it?
Oh yeah. Well, I could have done with that today. I had a lot of flies bothering me. Um, look, there's nothing worse than coming to full draw and a fly landing on your nose. It's
Oh
very
God.
distracting.
Yes.
But you've got to have someone standing by to keep the flies off. I can't afford that.
This one is really
That's
interesting, right? Look
yeah.
at
Well,
this.
that's from. Is it a nilgai? It's one of the big antelope family, the
Yeah.
horn. I mean,
Yeah.
which they're often adapted into. I mean, there's a parrying weapon that uses two of them,
Yes.
but something this big, they've just taken advantage of its sculptural shape. I mean, it would be
What kind
really
of
hard to make.
hair is that, Pete?
The most popular is yak hair.
Isaac.
Whether it is yak hair, I don't know, but it's very popular. Um, you can use horsehair. That doesn't look like horsehair to me. It's got more the yak look to it. Um, it was important because, of course, the thing about, I mean, they speak of yak tails, but generally speaking, people would shear their yaks, or when they shed their wool in summer or spring, they collect it all, and that would be just sold. In the Himalayas, you got all this yak breeding area. So wool and yak hair and all this kind of stuff would have been exported all over.
But
Um,
Bede, fly whisk, I think we talked about it in one of other collections. Could it be some
yeah,
time ago?
yeah, we did. We were talking
Yes.
about it.
And
Because they're quite a prestige item. I mean, a Maharaja or somebody like that would usually have somebody standing next to him holding one of these. But it happened in the Middle East too, because it was just a show of your rank to have someone standing next to you to do it. In Africa, they're incredibly popular.
I didn't
In
know that. Okay.
traditional African cultures, it was another way. Again, it's a visible symbol of your importance because if you're doing it yourself or somebody else is doing it, it shows how important. It's like um, peacock feather fans were a big deal in India,
Yeah.
and the right to have somebody standing behind you or two people with peacock feather fans.
Mm.
This was a symbol of high rank, and not everybody could get away with doing it. And I think fly whisks were pretty much a thing like that too. You see, they've got a Mogul or an illustration from a Mogul painting of some high-ranking person holding a personal fly whisk, which are a bit smaller than
This
what
one.
this one is. I mean, this is definitely one that was carried by a servant or a courtier or something.
Yes.
But it's really quite nice the way they've integrated the horn into that.
Yeah.
I mean, good design work.
Yes. Look at this one, please.
Oh, so yeah, here's the
So
yeah.
this is enameled and jam sat fly whisk handle.
That looks like jade to me.
Yeah.
Nephrite.
Yes.
Um,
It is
number number
unbelievable.
oh, I can't see number two. I'm just reading the numbers there. Um,
Okay, number two. Oh, where is number two in this picture? It's not even there.
it's not there. It's somewhere else. Number three is. Oh, wait a minute.
Number three is this one, which says jam
Yeah.
set enamel five is candle. Okay, then it's
Mm,
in Malaysian, I think. Yes, this is 17th century.
yeah. Yeah. I
Delhi,
wouldn't doubt that.
India.
It really this very high grade, and you
Delhi.
can imagine with the actual yak hair whisk on the end, it'd be very spectacular. I
Yes.
mean, but to carve a long piece of jade like that,
Oh God, this is
I mean, jade
unbelievable.
is very tough, but it's also really difficult to carve.
Oops, sorry. And
And
this one, look, this one is also interesting. It is, also bejeweled. Number six.
yeah, like a tulip or a lotus flower
Yeah,
on the end of the stem. I mean, that's very kind of artistic.
yeah.
And again, really rich people. Where's
Talking about the
where?
rich people, look at this dagger. Oh God.
Oh yes.
All of them are so beautiful. They are like nephrite or jade handle or whatever. Look at them,
Well,
B.
yeah, yeah.
All
The
of them. Look at
most,
here. Look at these ones. God,
yeah.
beautiful they are.
Yeah, again, a friend of mine had one with a jade handle, which was like two flowers coming up like that, swelled out, came down. Then the knuckle guard was a stem with a kind of bud halfway up, and then it came back in. And you kind of look at how hard it would be to create this thing. The reason they make these out of jade is if you did this in agate, it would break the first time you dropped it. But jade is tough. I mean, you can break it, and the thinner it gets, the more likely it is to break. But these, they were taking advantage of the material.
Yeah.
Jade was very highly regarded. I mean, there's not just in India, but say in the Eastern Timor areas, like in Herat and things like that, there was jade carving up into around Samarkand and Bukhara, and jade was highly regarded as a, semi-precious, precious stone. Uh, Thumb rings. There's a thumb ring of Ulugh Bek, or anyway, it's got his it's got his name on the inside of it. There are sword handles in jade from Iran and Turkey from the 1500s, I think,
Yes.
and they're beautifully carved. And these, every one is a. See, the thing is it jewelry or is it weaponry? I mean, the people wearing these, I think they were wearing them as jewelry, but because they came from cultures that had a high regard for good quality weapons, you wouldn't have a high quality jade handle attached to a low quality blade
No, no, of course.
because that would be really embarrassing.
Yeah, absolutely not. That's clear.
Because I'm sure when you read about collectors in Sind, this is before Sind was taken over by the British. They were collecting sword blades, they were collecting daggers. Um, there was both a market for it and a culture of connoisseurship where people knew a lot about swords and a lot about watered steel, and they would discuss this. So if you had a beautiful jade hilted dagger and it had a low grade blade, people would, well, what if you sold the blade to, what's going on? I noticed we've got what in the West are called fakir's crutches. So these are things that people used to lean on when they were sitting on the floor
Here,
or
you
a
mean the
divan or something.
here.
So yeah, so and sometimes like the middle one, they had a blade that was concealed in the staff part that held that thing, so
Yes,
that when you leant on it, you had something to lean on. Um, I'm just looking at some of those plates.
it's
The workmanship is incredible.
incredible, really. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I look, the inlay is. often quite beautiful,
Yeah.
but the kind of beautifully sculpted shapes, the way they've got like almost like flowers. And
Unbelievable.
the thing is, of course, this is immensely valuable. And we go out and we can buy plastic things. The same.
In the same design.
Oh, the design has never died out because it's a
Yeah.
good design.
You can put nuts in it, right? With these cheap things
Yeah,
you
yeah.
buy.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if people didn't put nuts in that,
Yeah.
because people had taste for good food.
Yeah.
Nuts are healthy.
And look at these, Pete.
Oh, oh, yes.
Yeah.
And nice to see there's a collection of spears,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
think spears are not don't get
Yes.
the uh, attention they deserve. Now these are, I'm guessing from the photograph
Mhm.
in the background, these are um, equipment used in Malaysia. Well, when
Yes.
it was still Malaya, because there's that looks like an old photograph. They're carrying shields.
Yeah.
There's a shield down there that looks really nicely made.
Yeah. Yeah.
These the swords are in the Malay Indonesian style, in the
Yes.
sense that they've got those very elaborate hilts, and even the gun is beautifully proportioned too.
Yes.
And
It's interesting.
there's
It's
group.
written Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim here on this cover.
Well, I mean, there was a
Yeah.
strong Muslim presence there.
Yes.
When the British took over Malaya, they imported a lot of people from the Tamil areas of South India and that to work on the fields and that. So you then had Hindus, and you had Buddhists, and you had Christians. So as a society, there was a very complex mix of religions and cultures. And of course, these areas were originally colonized from places like Malayalam in South India, um, coming across Indonesia and the Malayan Peninsula and that, uh, strongly influenced by Hindu culture in the beginning, and Buddhist. I mean, you only have to look at Borobudur in Indonesia to see the Buddhist influence. So these are very sophisticated, um, multi-ethnic cultures. So it's, I mean, we think of the modern world where we've got all these different cultures mixing together. But it happened here too,
Yeah.
before we did it in some levels. And this is an area with a lot of trading went on, so there was a lot of interaction. Chinese from the north, um,
Yeah.
Thais, because part of the peninsula is presently part of Thailand, and there's Malay-speaking Muslim people living in Thailand because that's where their ancestors live. Um, so it's quite a complex ethnic mix,
Yes.
and the designs of things have lots and lots of cultural associations that partly blended, partly unique to certain areas. But I'm
Yes.
looking at those spears; they've got some nice blade shapes there.
Yes. Very nice. Different types. Some of them, one of them is leaf shaped, or
Yeah,
some are really like piercy looking ones, right?
yeah, and I mean they may be these may be thrown spears too. They could be javelins.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
See, it's hard to tell in a museum whether the shafts have been shortened.
Mm.
Um, and again, short fighting spears are well known all over the world. So it's not just because they're short doesn't mean they're javelins, but um, quite interesting because
Yeah.
javelins are quite practical in
Yes.
hot, humid areas because
Yes.
bows don't always work that well. I mean, they do work, but
Yes.
maybe not as well as they would in some other areas.
Yes.
Hmm.
See also typical all those daggers which you can see in Malaysian,
Yeah, yeah,
Indonesian
parangs and
area.
keris type daggers. And
Yes.
again, notice that there's lots of different shapes
Yeah.
of hilt, of scabbard, um, and different levels of sophistication. So the ones up top are very sophisticated and probably from
Yeah.
court styles from some of the kingdoms there.
Yes.
The ones at the bottom look like, something that uh, maybe Dayak people and
Yes.
seafaring people like that may have brought with them, or they could be from the hinterland. Of course, people from Malaysia would have a much better idea of where these come from, and the captions would tell us as well.
Yes.
But
I mean, I'm sure you have the book on, I have different books on different identification of different Malaysian weapons with the local
yeah,
names. So I have this book
yeah,
somewhere.
even going back to the 1930s in Stone's Glossary of Arms and Armour,
Yes.
there's a huge selection of
Yes. Now,
Malaysian and
we come back
Indonesian
to
weapons.
Chris's, which you can see Malaysia, also in Indonesia, these type of
Yeah,
things. Beautiful ones. Look at them.
yeah, yeah. I mean, as I say, these are very sophisticated. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, they're very weak connection between the grip and the handle and that," but they weren't held like that. They were held like that, and the handle was there to direct the blade, and your index finger and thumb are on the part of the blade near the handle. Um, and the kind of techniques for using them were highly developed. I've spoken to people that have, met, not I haven't personally met people, but at second-hand levels who had met people that had been trained to use these weapons.
Yes.
And they have lots of unique um, um, techniques for fighting.
Yes. In Bangkok
But
Silat, you see that.
yeah, yeah. The thing that's interesting is that the Keris is also a symbol of manhood. So that when you became a man within the society, you would have a crest which you wore all the time when you're out, in public. So
Yes.
it was in like a samurai having two swords.
Yes.
Um, an adult male within in Malay society
Yes.
would have a crest. Whether he actually needed to use it for anything is a different matter. And some of them are so beautiful you'd wonder whether. But then you have a look in there's more like solid sword-like blades
Mhm.
as opposed to large dagger blades.
This
Um,
one looks like
which
this one. What we have it also in Malaysia, but like Sundong from Filipino island.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. They're very
Sundong.
similar to the Philippine ones, but this was a huge cultural area. I
Yeah.
mean, the Philippines, the Malay Peninsula, um, Indonesian islands. But before the expansion of the Vietnamese into Indochina, as we refer to it now, there were kingdoms there that were Indian influenced, probably Malay speaking kingdoms like Champa and things like that. So we're looking at a whole world,
Yes.
not just a couple of isolated cultures. This is a whole cultural world,
Yes.
and clearly one with a lot of innovation and sophistication in its design.
Yes.
Ah, well, now we're talking rich people.
Yes.
It's amazing stuff, isn't it?
Yes. A dagger here.
What, what always impressed me was the level of design, like from uh, uh, a craftsman's point of view. That it's so sophisticated.
Yeah.
And if you don't, I mean, I live in Australia. We're not that far away from Indonesia or Malaysia, and there are people moving backwards and forwards all the time, and students come here and businessmen and whatever. So these are probably more familiar to me than someone in Europe,
Yeah.
because whereas like in England, there's a lot of this stuff because they brought a lot back,
Yeah.
um, as the English did. Uh, whereas here like we used to see things in street markets and things. You would see Chris, and people would go to say Bali or parts of Indonesia or Malaysia and bring back a Chris
Yeah.
as, and some of them were tourist items, and some of them weren't. And I knew someone who went to Java to learn how to make Chris from existing masters and brought back books full of information in old Javan,
Yeah.
pre Arabic script Javan, and all this kind of stuff
Yes.
because there's just so much information there. And metalworking, you can see they just really knew how to
Yeah.
do metalworking without plugging them. They're still famous, like pewter
Yeah.
producing companies like Selangor.
Yes.
Uh, and you know the level of craftsmanship is always at the top.
Yes. Here you can see it as well. Right.
Yeah. See, everything is so carefully made and well designed.
Yes. And also now from different parts in India and other countries, also
Yeah.
miniatures. Very
Well,
nice.
this is it. I mean, it's it's the whole area um is interested in uh because of history. They're interested in India
Yes. Absolutely.
because there's so much history associated with it. Oh, look at that. That's woodworking.
Yeah.
See, I mean, design wise, it's not Middle Eastern, but technique wise, it definitely is.
It's unbelievable. Look at this one.
Oh yeah. So we'll get piercing. We've got all kinds of
Yeah.
technical details, and then you see that they're associating with paintings.
Yes.
Um,
Very nice. And look at
yeah,
these
it's
ones, Beat.
oh wow.
Beautiful. Beautiful items.
Hmm. Oh, South Indian ivory flip flops, basically.
Yeah.
Like I've seen these, like I've handled these. I've never tried to put them on. They're made for smaller feet even than me. But gee, they look as though they'd be difficult to walk in.
Yeah.
We've got also a really nice looking fish cubs over there
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
with a
Very
gold
nice.
sheath. So that's high grade stuff. The
Very nice.
box is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. Beautiful.
All the boxes are beautiful, actually.
Oh,
The big one is very impressive, though.
very, very.
Um, and there was a powder horn in the shape of a mythical fish, which is always a good thing to have.
Yeah.
I mean that could be India, South Indian too.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh yeah, the metalwork is exceptional. You see
Yeah.
that and you just think,
Yeah.
well, see, the thing is, I would look at that and say, oh, that looks really Indian to me. But to be honest, sometimes you don't know because um, the local metalworkers were really good too. To me, it mostly looks Indian,
Yeah.
South Indian, a
They have
lot of it.
lots of artifacts from India actually here.
Yeah.
And
But
look
I
at
mean,
this.
that's a long-term interest in Malaysia. Incredible jewelry.
Incredible. Lots of things in this museum. You can see it here as well.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Incredible. Really incredible. And now here we have dagger and sword again.
yeah. But also on the top, a turban ornament, sarpech, I think in
Yeah,
Indian.
you're right. You're right. God.
So I mean, and looks like it's kind of got very large rubies hanging with it.
Yeah.
Well, you wanted to show. I think the item on the left is a belt buckle, though I'm not sure because without
This
scale,
one.
it's hard to say.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas we've got necklaces down the bottom, we've got a jambiya in the Yemeni type style
Yeah.
with
So,
the. So I mean, there are Wahhabi style ones also that have that upturned tail. Oh, big stones.
yeah.
Oh, they've got one. They've got inscriptions on them,
Yeah,
and they very kindly wrote them down. Oh, I just wish more people would do that.
all of them. Yeah, they translated all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, these ones, these three daggers, I think what we,
Oh, yes. Absolutely
so I
stunning.
can show it to him. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, look at them being.
This, yeah, this would be probably Mughal period.
Yeah,
Um, but not necessarily Mughal because the other kingdoms
yeah,
um were immensely wealthy too.
yes,
I mean, we say that it's probably a wrong way of looking at it. Uh, a section of the society was immensely wealthy, supported by all the hardworking people in farms and things and mines and whatever. So